Okay, welcome online, ladies and gentlemen. If you've just joined us here in the Zoom room, please type in where you're watching us from. We're in 72 countries around the world. This is Members Night Live with announcements and interviews, and we have a 60-second timer before we get started. That's your cue to make sure all your members and team are on the call. Alrighty, for those of you that don't speak English that fluently or Australian, have a listen to this. Oops.
Untuk mengaktifkan terjemahan bahasa Indonesia, silakan klik caption di panel laptop atau handphone Anda semua.
Para poder obtener la traducción en español, es necesario hacer clic en el menú de Zoom y elegir la opción Subtítulos en español.
大家好，如果你想看字幕，请按屏幕底下的 CC 按钮，选择中文。此功能仅适用于直播。
Bonjour, bienvenue à cet événement Newme. Vous pouvez activer les sous-titres dans votre langue en cliquant sur Sous-titres au bas de l'écran. Veuillez noter que cette option fonctionne uniquement dans la salle Zoom en direct. Merci et bonne écoute.
大家好，如果你想看字幕，請按屏幕底下嘅 CC 按鈕選擇中文。呢個功能淨
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome your MC for today, our key leader all the way from Australia, Phoebe Wallace.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everybody around the world, wherever you're calling in from. And it's great to see all the places that people are calling in from. The Colorado, we have Ontario, Canada, we have, I'm not sure where that's from, where they say Perth, WA, we have Jakarta, we have all around the world. It is so exciting. And this is a great night, every night, members' night. So I would advise you to get a pen and paper because we have some announcements and then we have lots of exciting stuff to introduce to you later. But it's my privilege this morning to introduce our Vice President of Sales, who's an absolute gentleman. I've only met him yet online. And so I'm going to hand it over to you, Sergio Delamaro.
Thank you very much, Phoebe. Good evening and good morning, wherever you may be. Good afternoon. Thank you so much for the introduction, Phoebe. It's a pleasure to be here with all of you, and I look forward to meet you in person soon, Phoebe. Among many of the members that I see constantly on this call, it's always a pleasure for us, and it's a very important way for us to stay connected because we don't have the opportunity to connect in person as frequently as we'd like. However, we do have these calls on a weekly basis with the scheduling already set in place, so don't miss out. Invite all the members, all the people that may be interested in Newme. It's a great opportunity for them to become familiar with our culture. Now, I want to just give you some feedback. I was gone last week, I believe. I don't recall if with a lot of traveling in the last few days, but I wanted to let you know that I came back from Europe. We, Steve, Ryan, and myself, we did a tour. We divided and conquered some cities, but we started off in France. We had a great event there with the team in Lyon, France. Then we split off. I went to Spain, Alicante. Stephen and Ryan went to Budapest, where they had an event with 700 plus attendees. Very exciting. And then on their way home, we decided to do a small private leadership meeting with their local leaders in Netherlands. right before we came back to the United States. But a lot of the purpose of this was to take information that we launched at Summit. The main thing and exciting for Europe is that they are now doing pre-sales for Neuro. So it was based around Neuro. A lot of excitement. We're selling quite a bit of it. So we do have a promotion that you can take advantage of for your European members. And it's the same promotion we had in the US that we currently have in some markets worldwide. But if you buy 3, you get 1 free. Take advantage of it. It is a short time into production. And just to be very clear, this is a pre-sale promotion in Europe. So what that means is you will purchase the product, and then as soon as it arrives and it's ready for shipment, we're estimating it will be in the beginning of October. So that's coming up right next week. We will begin to ship the Neuro around the region. On the smaller events, we were able to let the members sample it, and it helped out because they didn't fall asleep. Even through my 3-hour training that I did on the first day in France, everyone was excited. So we're very happy with everything that's going on. We're very busy here at corporate, almost staying almost as busy as all of you in the field. We're trying to keep up. And as Aaron always says, we don't want to be running behind you. We want to be running alongside of you. And in many cases, we want to lead to create tools and generate what you need for your business. So it's a great time to be a part of NUMMI. And we want you to know that we're going to be working even harder than we are. I'm on call sometimes all day and into the evening at times. So it's very exciting that we can connect for members all over the world. But that's what I wanted to share a little bit with you with my Europe trip. I'll probably share some more in the future because it was special. And I do want to share some special announcements because, again, we are all in different places globally, but that doesn't mean we can't connect and we don't have these opportunities to meet with the technology. So write down, we want to invite all of you that have Spanish-speaking members, wherever they may be in the world, if they can connect. We have a special call this Friday, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where we'll have Dr. Valdez, who is part of our scientific medical board, will be talking a little bit about the benefits of Neuro, among other professionals and leaders. So you do not want to miss that. If you have any Spanish speakers, it's going to be at 7 p.m. again, Friday on NUMMI TV, same channel. And another exciting announcement that you will probably see tomorrow or Friday at the latest, but we want to give you a heads up. Aaron Renner and I will be hosting a call with some of our leadership in Indonesia next Monday for us here in the States. However, this will take place. This is going to be a very specific Indonesia market call that will take place October 1st at 7 a.m. WIB time zone. So that's going to be very specific for Indonesia. If you have people in Indonesia, invite them to be part of this call. It will also take place here on NUMMI TV. We'll be announcing some exciting things, and this will lead up to a meeting that will take place in December where our COO, Chris Fowler, will be a part of, and some of the members. And we'll tell you a little bit about what that is. So join us next Monday in the States for that if you'd like, or this will be specifically, again, for the people in Indonesia. With translations for us in our case, because we want it to be for them at 7 a.m. on the 1st of October to kick off the month. Among other exciting things, just want to announce that in the Philippines, we have received some product registrations. So I want to give a highlight to the operations team that's also been working very hard on that for NUMMI Skin and the NutriSwish. That's exciting news. Philippines is always one of the very important markets in the Asia region, and we know that this will generate more momentum there. And last but not least, my friends, we'll get to hear a very special training today from some wonderful leaders who I've had the opportunity to get to know and work with very closely. I'm very excited for what they're going to do. You will see from this specific meeting tonight how special they are. But I know that Greece, it's already starting with a new wave. So we're super excited what's going on. We'll keep you posted among some of our plans even for Latin America in 2025. But for now, we're going to be very happy to see and continue following a lot of the momentum worldwide. And we'll give a very special welcome as we see some of these new leaders that you will get to meet today on this call to see what they will do with us and welcome them to the NUMMI family. Those are the announcements I have here from corporate. We'll have some more next week. And I will pass the time on to you, Michael.
Beautiful. Thank you, Sergio. And you know, one thing I heard a little whisper, and I'm not going to say the name or anything, but the tour through Europe was so fantastic that there's a brand new triple diamond a few minutes ago out of that region. And I know a certain individual online right now knows who that is, but I'm not going to say a word because I don't want to steal their thunder, but it's pretty exciting. And I want to make sure they get him online next week. So maybe type in the chat, congratulations, mysterious, unknown triple diamond. I can't tell you who it is.
Yes. Well, we'll have some more information, and we're excited. As you know, we always wait till the 5th officially of each month to do any official recognition. But we're super happy. Europe is doing a lot of great things, and you will also see some fun things that are taking place in Latin America. A lot of momentum worldwide. And what about now? Well, I'm excited to see what's going to happen in Greece, Michael.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so we're going to entitle today's conversation, if you like, a leadership conversation around what is servant leadership? What is servant leadership? So there's leadership, and we all know the difference between managers and leaders. A manager says, go do this, points the fingers, what have you. And a leader says, this is what I did. Let me show you how. And then there's another whole level of leadership called servant leadership. So what is servant leadership? So if you want to take some notes, this is important, right? This is so important. Why is it important? This is the culture in Numi that we want to foster. If you like, if there's a smoldering flame on someone who's a servant leader, we want to fan that flame. This is exactly what we want, because servant leaders are not about self-interest. Now, in this industry, there's some fantastic leaders who, sadly, have a very slanted, I just want to promote my own team myself and not necessarily interested in the bigger picture. So what are some of the things that really make a servant leadership? Well, they see themselves as an asset to the team that should be utilized whenever needed, right? And I'm not blowing my trumpet when I say this, but this is something Alex has done for me. He's always available for me. He's a tool for me. I need him to help edify me. I need him on three-way calls or Zooms. So I say to my team, you have access to my diary, book me in. You don't need to check, just book me in, book me in, book me in, book me in. The best place for me to be is online, helping you build your business. I want to be on as many calls as possible. So that's seeing yourself as an asset to the team, as a tool to be used, right? So don't point fingers. They come in, they get their hands dirty. They see themselves as one of the team, not the guru or whatever. I'm just one of the team, and that's important as well. They go the way first, which means they know the way, and then they show the way. And Phoebe covered that off a few weeks ago. It was really brilliant. Their actions prove that they are not self-centered, but they have the bigger picture and greater good in mind in every interaction that they do. And, you'll think of faces and names that come up with Numi that you see all the time. For example, Phoebe's always there saying, hey, can I help with the door? Can I do this? Can I MC? Can I help you? Right? Or if I ask her with 2 minutes notice like I did today, absolutely, right? She literally had 2 minutes notice. So they volunteer their time for the greater good. Maybe they're doing testimonials for others. Maybe they're hopping in and being a presenter for the company. Maybe they're saying, can I help with the training in some way? They have a lot of wisdom. This is a big one. They have a lot of wisdom and they have confidence, but they don't have an out of control ego. Nothing worse than out of control egos. I'm going to share a story with you, and I won't mention the name of the person because I don't want to go to court, but I want to share a story. There was a guy called Leonardo with a C. That's his surname, starts with C. That's all I'm going to say. And he reached out. He's like, hey, do you know who I am? Do you know how big I've been in the industry? It was all about that. It wasn't like, hi, can I build a relationship or anything? It was just all about, look at me, look at me, look at me at the start. And I thought, okay, well, he's been pretty successful. Let's introduce him to corporate. And of course, next minute he puts his hand out. Well, if I'm going to join you guys, I'm going to need some money up front to do this, this, this. We're like, we don't do that. And eventually, lesson learned for me, I did. Big mistake. Guy gets the money. Guy makes demands that must be in certain times that he wants to happen, like get up at 5 a.m. in the morning and do a call for the group. No, it'll have to work in this time. It's only that time. Eventually, he took the money and run. There are lots of charlatans in this industry like that who seem like a big leader, who put their hand out for money, but they're not necessarily there for the greater good in their team. They're really there for themselves, right? So what's another observation that I've seen? I have said for many years, and you'll hear me, and now you'll understand why, right? Sometimes you've got to have the aha moment by burning your fingers. I said to many years, as a Numi, put my hat on, if you like, my Numi greater good, I say there's only certain Facebook groups which are run by the company, which are safe, and that's what everyone should be in. Everything else is a team Facebook group or page. Why do I say that? Well, because you know that in 6 months from now, a year from now, 10 years from now, that the Facebook group called Noumi Knew You will still be there and it'll be safe for all your members. If you use Noumi members, it'll still be safe. If you use the Noumi Nouveau one, I can't pronounce it, which is the company-run Latino one, it's safe. You know your people will be in there. This is why we suggest, and we have a concept, if you haven't remembered the Noumi traffic light system, when I say this, type in yes if you've heard it before, or no if it's a new news for you. Traffic lights, blue, all Noumi events and tools that are open to everyone in every group run by the company. Red, events specific for a team, not to be promoted to other people. Facebook groups for the team, not to be promoted to other teams. And then yellow is neutral. It may mean that two teams collaborate for an event. Maybe corporate puts some hand in the money, for pocket for some money. Maybe they don't. Maybe the two teams fund it themselves. But of course, when they do that, they need to be thinking about the greater good. Let's not say anything about team specifics that might take someone off song. Have you heard this before? If you haven't, type in no. The concept of a blue event is a safe event. A blue tool is a safe tool. A red one is great for that team, but don't go there if you're crossline. Great to see some people typing in no. This is a great thing for you to understand. Why do I say that? Well, let's just put it this way. How could I put it? I'm going to say it very tactfully. If someone leaves Noumi and someone decides, for whatever reason, maybe they were getting some money and they stopped getting the money, so they decided, well, I'm not being treated like special over the top of everybody else, I'm leaving. If you have your people in their Facebook group, guess what? You just lost all your members because they're going to be promoted to another company. Now, that just happened with a leader somewhere in the world. I'm not going to say who, but I'm going to say, I told you so, right? People who put people in those people's Facebook groups now are going, oh no, they're leaving. What are they leaving for? Well, because, things weren't being given to them on a platter anymore. And the rest of you guys that are giving all the same offer. And of course, that means anyone in a Facebook group that is team specific could be a target for another company now. So I say this so that you understand a servant leader is someone who does things in a neutral way that understands the repercussions for everybody across the team, and it's always safe, okay? So if I mention these names, Italo and I are not in the same team. I love him like a brother. I've met him. He has a lot of wisdom, and he is all about the greater good, right? He was the father of the beautiful Elias, right, who passed away. Both of them, but just like, man, I want to be around them. That's the culture of Noumi. Jonathan in Indonesia, man, all about what can I do? Never put his hand out at once and ask for 1 cent up front. He said, let me perform, and he did. And of course, I would trust every one of you in any meeting that Jonathan was running. But again, Jonathan understands there is Jonathan's events, which are red events, and then there is the blue events run by the company, which is why we have a corporate call happening this week for Indonesia next week, because it's for everybody, not for a specific team, which is important. So it's important to understand the traffic light system. Is the event blue? Is the event red? Or is it a yellow event, right? So blue events are simple. Members night is always exactly the same. And of course, that brings me to today, right? Of introducing you to some servant leaders. Now, what you don't know is that sometimes people come to us in Noumi, and like I said, like the Leonardo example without his surname, all about ego, look at me. And others come in and say, when we ask them, tell us about your background, and we're like really impressed. But then they say, how can we help to get this country off the ground for all members, all teams? And of course, what was missing for Greece? There was missing tools. We didn't have translated tools. We didn't have videos. We didn't have lots of stuff. And so these guys said, well, we're happy to invest our time at our own expense to make sure everyone across every team has that. That, my friends, is the sort of culture and the sort of person that we want here in Noumi. Now, unfortunately, just like the rest of Europe and the new Triple Diamond would be fast asleep right now, Greece are fast asleep. So what did I do? Well, I decided let's pre-record them and then play them back in this session. So in this, you're going to hear some real edifications of Noumi. Like they looked at 400 companies and no company came close. 400 companies and no company came close to what Noumi has to offer. And they chose Noumi, but they also chose to be those servant leaders that for the greater good, not egotistical, not their own team, to help us produce some tools. So let's have a quick listen to this, get a pen out and paper, and I want you to pay attention to everything said in this interview. Just give me a thumbs up, Phoebe, if the sound comes through okay at your end. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is an exciting part of today's event, and we had to pre-record it because it is 8:30 p.m. my time, which is morning in Greece, and poor Irene has had to get up at about 6 a.m. her time, all right, in order to be able to do this event today. So today's topic is the topic of servant leadership, And we thought it'd be a great idea to introduce you to a brand new team who have joined us from Greece on this topic of servant leadership. Now, these guys are not frontline to me, so I'm not promoting my own team necessarily. I'm just here as a Numi ambassador to talk about all teams. In fact, these guys are 16 levels down in depth, and between me and them is 3 crowns. So Jerry will be benefiting, Nicole will be benefiting, Karen will be benefiting, and look, there's stacks of people in between that might be senior members. I've seen a triple diamond in there, Mei Chung. Everyone's going to benefit. But not only that, servant leadership is not only about your own business, it's about what difference can we make to the Numi family. And that's the reason for this recording, because a rising tide floats all boats. And these guys, by helping us, which what I'm going to talk about a little bit about what they've done, by helping us to get everything started, you're all going to benefit as a result, okay? So why would we bring these people on the screen so early in the relationship as we're just launching? Because normally that's not what we do, and I'll tell you why. Why don't we normally bring someone on the screen too early? Normally, there's 2 types of people that come to us. Some that go, I'm a big leader, I'm coming to Numi, what can you pay me? That's the first words out of their mouths. They're all about money. And that's a bad energy, and it's not the energy that Numi likes. In fact, I know of maybe one person that has, put their hand out, had some money, and they've left the company. Waste of time for everybody, right? So not the sort of leader that you really want. Whereas a servant leader is someone who never puts their hand out, and they just say, how can I help? So from the very first moment that I met these beautiful people, I can tell you that we were like friends almost straight away. And I could see they had the same heart for people, a lot of wisdom, but also really humble. In fact, just before starting this recording, George was saying, no, ask Andreas first. Andreas goes, no, you can ask George. Neither of them has an ego that's out of control. And I love that. So they're the sort of people that we really want to be involved in Numi. So with that in mind, today, as I said, the topic is servant leadership. Now, what you don't know is that when Numi launches into a country, we need tools that are translated. And these guys stuck up their hand and said, we're happy to help. We're happy to get our arms, in there and get our hands dirty. And they translated all of the tools that you all in all teams will have access to in the app. So I want you to be really grateful for these guys, because if they didn't do that, you wouldn't have these tools to be able to build your business in multiple languages. And I love that. So that's the reason we brought them on, paying it back to these guys who've done amazing things for us with not 1 cent put in their hand to do so. Okay, so it gives me great pleasure, with Irene's help, of course. Irene has birthed the Greek team to be able to interview Andreas and George, who are leaders with heart, integrity, and humility. Now, I want to say something really funny that just came to mind right now. In the back behind Andreas, behind George, and behind Irene, you can see a photograph. That photograph I created way back on the first week we launched Numi. And I had no clue that we would end up in Greece. Yet you look at the photograph, and I've got to say, Irene, if it looks like I've seen your daughters, I've seen you, and it looks like you're facing the opposite way, or you or one of your daughters are standing up there in whatever, Santorini. So it's pretty exciting. We manifested this for you, didn't we?
Yes, we definitely manifested this. I'm excited. I'm actually there on the picture. You took it on me, right?
I swear it looks like we did. So we're going to ask a series of questions just to help you guys to get to understand these people. So first off, I'm going to start with Andreas. And the question is, can you tell us a little bit about your background before we get started?
Okay, Andrea, θέλει να σε ρωτήσει πρώτα εσένα. Πείτε μας λίγα λόγια για το παρελθόν σας στη χώρα της δικτύωσης.
Καλησπέρα και από μένα. Είμαι ο Ανδρέας Καμπαρδόνης. Είναι πολύ χαρά μου που μπορώ να μοιραστώ κάποιες πληροφορίες μαζί σας.
Good evening. My name is Andreas Kabardonis and I'm very happy to share some information with you about me.
Η εμπειρία μου στον χώρο του δικτυακού μάρκετινγκ ξεκινάει από το 1995 σε ηλικία 20 χρονών.
My experience in network marketing, it started in age 20 years old in 1995.
Το δικτυακό marketing για μένα είναι τρόπος ζωής. Είναι μια δουλειά που με αυτήν μεγάλωσα, με αυτήν γνώρισα πάρα πολύ κόσμο και με αυτήν δημιουργήθηκα.
The network marketing for me is a way of life. It's what I was born with, and this is the way I created my life.
Μου αρέσει πάρα πολύ η επαφή με τους ανθρώπους. Μου αρέσει πάρα πολύ να βοηθώ τους ανθρώπους να δημιουργήσουν εισόδημα και να αισθάνονται καλύτερα.
I love helping people, and I love helping people make income and also feel better as well.
Στην πορεία μου σε αυτά τα 29 χρόνια που ασχολούμαι με το δικτυακό marketing,
On the way, on the last 29 years that I'm doing network marketing,
έχω περάσει από 3 διαφορετικές εταιρείες.
I have went through 3 different companies.
Με αποκορύφωμα στην τελευταία εταιρεία που ήμουνα να έχω φτάσει να έχουμε δημιουργήσει το δίκτυο της Ελλάδας, να γίνει η Ελλάδα η νούμερο 1 χώρα σε τζίρους ανάμεσα στις χώρες που ήταν η προηγούμενη εταιρεία.
And with the last company, I was the success was big, and I was the number one. Greece was the number one country in the world.
Η εμπειρία μου γενικά σε αυτά τα χρόνια μου έχει βοηθήσει να μπορώ να αντιληφθώ τις ευκαιρίες.
My experience from doing network marketing all these years is to make me see the opportunities.
Και η επιλογή μας με τη Numi θεωρώ ότι είναι η καλύτερη επιλογή που έχω κάνει σε αυτά τα 30 χρόνια στον χώρο του δικτυακού marketing.
And choosing Numi, I believe it's the best decision I ever done in my network marketing career.
Και θα σας εξηγήσουμε τους λόγους παρακάτω.
And we're going to explain this to you in a little bit.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Σας ευχαριστώ
And
πολύ.
now, if we can also find out a little bit about George, what's your background as well?
Γιώργο, μπορείς να μας πεις και εσύ λίγο για το παρελθόν τόσο στη δικτύωση?
Βεβαίως. Ασχολούμαι με την δικτύωση 8 χρόνια τώρα.
Of course, I'm doing network marketing for the last 8 years.
Η εμπειρία μου στον χώρο αυτό λόγω αναπηρίας που έχω
My experience in this industry because of the
disability.
The disability I'm having.
Έπρεπε να βρω τρόπο να δουλέψω από σπίτι.
I was looking for a way to work from home.
Οπότε άρχισα να δημιουργώ μόνος μου τα εργαλεία που θα μου επιτρέψουν να κάνω αυτό ακριβώς.
So I started creating all the tools that will help me be successful on doing that.
Μετά από 8 χρόνια έχω την εμπειρία να καταλάβω πότε μια εταιρεία έχει σοβαρά εργαλεία για να μπορούμε να δουλέψουν.
And after 8 years, I can tell what company has very good tools that we can work with.
Και μπορώ να υποσχεθώ σε όλους ότι αν κάτι λείπει από την εταιρεία, θα είμαι εδώ, να το προτείνω, να το φτιάξουμε μαζί και να προχωρήσουμε.
And I can promise you that now that I'm here, if we need any other tools and I'll be able to help you, I'll be very happy to help do that.
Ευχαριστώ πολύ που βρίσκομαι σήμερα εδώ.
Thank you so much for having me here today.
Beautiful. So both have quite a background in the industry of success. What I'd love to know, George, potentially, if you can tell us what made you and Andreas choose Numi out of all the companies that you'd investigated?
Andreas, we want I guess George actually. George, yeah. Θέλει να σε ρωτήσει τι ήταν αυτό που σε έκανε να επιλέξεις την Numi από όλες τις εταιρείες που είχατε ερευνήσει.
Αρχικά δεν επέλεξα την Numi εγώ. Την επιλέξαμε μαζί με τον Ανδρέα.
Basically, I didn't choose Numi myself. We chose it together with Andreas.
Αυτό έγινε διότι και οι δύο βρέθηκαμε σε μια θέση τέτοια που ψάχναμε να βρούμε κάτι μοναδικό, κάτι καινούριο.
Because we were in a position at that time to find something new, something great together.
Ελέγξαμε πάνω από 450 εταιρείες.
We did research on over 400 companies.
Wow.
Και η μόνη εταιρεία που είχε τα κριτήρια που εμείς θέλαμε ήταν η Numi.
And the only company that met our criteria that we were looking for, it was Numi.
Λίγα προϊόντα, χαμηλές τιμές
a few products with very good price,
καινοτόμα προϊόντα με φοβερή τεχνολογία
and products with incredible technology,
πλήρως απορροφήσιμα από το κύκαρο
that they absorb absolutely, incredibly from their cells in our body,
ένα πλάνο marketing που πληρώνει με τον καλύτερο τρόπο που έχουμε δει ποτέ
with the best marketing plan that pays people the best they ever seen in the industry.
και τέλος ένα σύστημα που είναι πολύ απλό και αντιγράψιμο.
And a system that is very duplicable and it's very easy to follow.
Αλλά πάνω απ' όλα φοβερούς ανθρώπους με πολύ καλή ψυχή.
But most of all, amazing people with wonderful heart.
Beautiful.
Η εταιρεία είναι οι άνθρωποι, χωρίς τους ανθρώπους δεν υπάρχει τίποτα.
It says a company is about the people. Without the people, the company is nothing.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
So, what I'd love to do now is ask Andreas this question. George touched on duplication in systems. How important with your success, Andreas, do you think that unified duplicatable systems are to success in business?
Πόσο σημαντικό νομίζεις, Ανδρέα, ότι είναι να κάνει κάποιος να χρησιμοποιεί ένα σύστημα που επαναλαμβάνεται για να είναι επιτυχημένη η καριέρα του?
Είναι πάρα πολύ σημαντικό να υπάρχει ένα τέτοιο σύστημα, γιατί αυτό βοηθάει στη γρήγορη ανάπτυξη και αναπαραγωγή. Το θεωρώ το α και το ω, και αυτό που μου αρέσει πάρα πολύ στη Νιούμι, το λατρεύω στη Νιούμι, είναι ότι είναι πολύ απλό το σύστημα και μπορεί να έχει εύκολη αναπαραγωγή από τον κόσμο. Και αυτό σημαίνει μπορεί να φέρει πολύ γρήγορη ανάπτυξη.
Okay, I like it that the system, it's very, very important that the system is duplicable, that you can duplicate the system, because it helps a lot for people to be successful very fast, because it's very easy to follow with a few steps that we have in it.
Σε προηγούμενες εταιρείες που συνεργάστηκα, το πρόβλημα ήταν αυτό, ότι δεν ήταν εύκολες, ήταν πολύπλοκα τα πλάνα τους και αυτό είχε ως αποτέλεσμα να μην έχει εύκολη αναπαραγωγή από τους συνεργάτες. Ήταν πάρα πολύ δύσκολο οι απλοί άνθρωποι να μεταδώσουν την ιδέα.
In the previous companies that I worked, that was a huge issue because it was very complicated, the system that they were using, and it was very hard for people to follow that system, to be successful with that system because it was too complicated.
Μετά από 30 χρόνια έψαρνα ένα σύστημα που πραγματικά να είναι αναπαραγωγικό, να μπορεί να έχει ταχύτητα, να μπορούν οι συνεργάτες με το που θα το δουν 1-2 φορές να μπορούν να το μεταδώσουν. Και αυτό ακριβώς έχει η Νιούμι.
Says I was looking for years to find a company that uses a system that is very easy to duplicate, and Numi has exactly that. That is very easy and simple system that people with couple of times they can learn the system and follow it very easily.
Beautiful, beautiful. So another question for Andreas. Where would you see Greece, now that we're launching Greece now, where would you see Greece in, say, the next 12 months in terms of our international expansion?
Αντρέα, θέλω να σε ρωτήσω μια ερώτηση που βλέπεις την Ελλάδα στους επόμενους 12 μήνες διεθνώς.
Ξέρετε, εμείς οι Έλληνες από την αρχαία ιστορία έχουμε καταφέρει τεράστια επιτεύγματα.
Okay, we Greek, you know that Greek people that in the history they always did a lot of huge things and that they accomplished.
Θεωρώ ότι κανείς δεν μπορεί να το αμφισβητήσει στον κόσμο.
He says, I believe that nobody can doubt that.
Οπότε το όραμά μας είναι να πετύχουμε αντίστοιχα επιτεύγματα και με την Νιούμι.
That's why our goal is to do something similar with Numi.
Θέλουμε το ελληνικό δίκτυο να πρωταγωνιστήσει στην εταιρεία, να βάλει τη δική του πινελιά, τη δική του σφραγίδα.
We want this system to be one of its kind and to put its own stamp in the company.
Και όταν λέω το ελληνικό δίκτυο, εννοώ το παγκόσμιο ελληνικό δίκτυο, γιατί οι Έλληνες υπάρχουν παντού. Στην Αμερική, στον Καναδά, στην Αυστραλία, στη Γερμανία.
And when I'm talking about the διεθνή, oh my goodness. When I'm talking about that, I'm talking about getting big in not only in Greece, but in all the countries that all Greek people are in Germany, in Australia, and all over the world, because Greek people are everywhere.
Επίσης, για μένα είναι πάρα πολύ σημαντικό να μπορέσουμε να βοηθήσουμε τους Έλληνες, τους ανθρώπους που ζουν στην Ελλάδα, διότι τα τελευταία χρόνια η Ελλάδα περνάει πολύ μεγάλη κρίση και ο κόσμος δυσκολεύεται πάρα πολύ να τα βγάλει πέρα.
We also want to help the Greek people in Greece because the economy in Greece is very tough and people have a tough time. So we want to help all the Greek people create an additional income, and he sees Numi that is very capable of doing that.
Η Numi είναι η καλύτερη επαγγελματική πρόταση ακόμα και για κάποιον που έχει ήδη μια δουλειά, παράλληλα να αυξήσει το εισόδημά του.
The Numi is a very good opportunity for somebody that even if they have another job, they can increase the income by doing Numi even as a side income.
Στόχος μας είναι να δημιουργήσουμε πάρα πολλούς leaders. Και θα το πετύχουμε.
Our goal is to create a lot of good leadership in Numi, like with big leaders.
Beautiful. Fantastic. So in parting thoughts, George, I know you're muted at the moment, but if you want to unmute, I'd love to ask George the question based on meeting everybody today. What are your parting thoughts you want to leave us with?
Γιώργο, θέλει να σου ρωτήσει τι έχεις κάποιες τελευταίες σκέψεις πριν κλείσουμε τη συζήτηση.
Η μόνη σκέψη που έχω αυτή τη στιγμή
The only thought I have this moment
είναι ότι θέλω να μου δοθεί ευκαιρία
is that I want to have the chance
να βοηθήσω τους συμπατριώτες μου να αλλάξουν τη ζωή τους.
To help my people in my country to change their life.
Είναι άνθρωποι εκεί έξω που υποφέρουν από αυτά που γίνονται.
There are people that they suffer outside over here.
Και αν περνάει από χέρι μου να κάνω κάτι για αυτούς, θα το κάνω.
And if there is something that I can do to help them, I'll definitely do it for them.
Όχι μόνος μου, φυσικά, μαζί με τον Ανδρέα και όλη την ομάδα μου.
But not by myself, of course, but with Andrea and our entire team.
Είμαστε μία παρέα, δεν είμαστε ούτε συνεργάτες, ούτε τίποτα άλλο. Είμαστε μία παρέα και αγαπάμε έναν τον άλλον.
We are not just co-workers, we love each other and we like to help each other.
Και μία τελευταία πρόταση από μένα, γιατί δεν μ' αρέσει να κουράζω.
And one more last thing from me, because I don't want to get you tired.
Τα χρώματα της Numi είναι τα χρώματα της Ελλάδας.
The colors of Numi is the colors of Greece.
Ah, yes, it is. I just realized. Who knew?
Yeah.
Can I just say that I could feel George's heart and genuine desire to help other people. I love that. You can feel he's the right fit for me.
Ότι λέω, ότι αισθάνομαι ότι από την καρδιά σου τα κάνεις αυτά και ότι για να το κάνεις με αγάπη.
So now, Andreas, any parting thoughts from you?
Ανδρέας, έχεις κάποιες τελευταίες σκέψεις να μοιραστείς μαζί μας?
Τελευταίες σκέψεις. Λίγο την ουσία όλων των πραγμάτων αυτών. Όλο αυτό το διάστημα που μας πήρε περίπου 6 μήνες να βρούμε τη Numi, ήρθαμε σε επαφή με πάρα πολλές εταιρείες, με πάρα πολλά συστήματα, γιατί θέλαμε πραγματικά κάτι ξεχωριστό.
Okay, all this time that we were searching for the last 6 months for different companies, we were looking for something completely different, completely, you know, separate than anything else.
Όταν ανάμεσα από όλες αυτές τις εταιρείες που αναλύσαμε τα πλάνα αμοιβών, τους ιδιοκτήτες, τις εταιρείες, το προϊόν τους, την αποτελεσματικότητα των προϊόντων τους, τα σχόλια που ψάχναμε να βρούμε στο ίντερνετ για την κάθε εταιρεία, γιατί ξέρετε, όπως βρίσκουμε σχόλια στην Google για ξενοδοχεία θετικά και αρνητικά υπάρχουν και για τις εταιρείες δικτυακού marketing, οπότε όλα αυτά τα αναλύσαμε.
Okay, then we went online and we did a lot of research and we did even Google reviews. We checked everything. So we analyzed everything about the owners, about the company, the product, and we looked at every aspect of the company.
Όταν είδαμε τα αποτελέσματα από τα προϊόντα της Numi, λέγαμε δεν μπορεί να είναι αληθινά.
And when we saw the result that Numi products give to people, they couldn't believe that they were true results.
Πρώτη φορά μέσα σε 30 χρόνια που ασχολούμαι με προϊόντα πάνω στον χώρο της υγείας και ομορφιάς, πρώτη φορά είδα τόσο αποτελεσματικά προϊόντα και γρήγορα αποτελέσματα.
After so many years in the network industry, it's the first time in my career that I saw so fast results and amazing results.
Πρώτη φορά είδα μια εταιρεία με μόνο 2 προϊόντα να έχει τόσο μεγάλη ανάπτυξη. Να έχει φτάσει στα 25 εκατομμύρια ευρώ μέσα σε 3 χρόνια.
It's the first time that I've seen a company with just 2 products that the guy got so fast, they grew so fast and so quick, and they did so many sales, like over $25 million in such a short period of time.
Αυτό το ότι έφτασε με 2 προϊόντα τα 25 εκατομμύρια μέσα σε 3 χρόνια με έκανε να πιστέψω ότι τα σχόλια που διάβασα για τα προϊόντα είναι αληθινά. Δεν μπορεί να είναι ψέματα. Δεν θα μπορούσε η εταιρεία να έχει, με την εμπειρία που έχω, δεν θα μπορούσε μια εταιρεία δικτυακού marketing να έχει τόσο μεγάλη ανάπτυξη και εξέλιξη αν αυτά τα προϊόντα δεν είναι άριστα.
He says, so with this growth that this company has and all these sales that they have over $25 million in such a short period of time, it made him believe it alone that this is a huge, that the products are working the way they are working, because otherwise they wouldn't sell that many.
Αφού διαπίστωσα με την εμπειρία μου, με τον τρόπο που ψάξαμε μαζί με τον Γιώργο, ότι τα προϊόντα όντως είναι ξεχωριστά και με την τεχνολογία που διαθέτουν, μετά είπα, μακάρι Θεέ μου, να είναι και το πλάνο αμοιβών λίγο καλό, όχι πολύ, λίγο καλό.
And then when we found out that the products are incredible and we've realized that the products are working as well as they advertised, then we were hoping that the plan that the company pays out, it's a little bit good, not very good, a little bit.
Γιατί με μόνο 2 προϊόντα τόσο εξαιρετικά θα υπάρχει μεγάλη επαναληπτικότητα, θα υπάρχει μεγάλη διατηρησιμότητα, άρα και με ένα πλάνο που δεν πληρώνει πολύ καλά, ο κόσμος θα κερδίσει χρήματα.
Because with the product that it works so well, if even if the pay was small, the people will still make money because the product will sell itself, basically.
Για μένα ήταν πάρα πολύ σημαντικό οι συνεργάτες μου που θα μπουν και θα με ακολουθήσουν, ακόμα και αυτοί που δεν έχουν μεγάλες δυνατότητες, να κερδίσουν χρήματα από νωρίς.
Then my goal was that everybody that joined our team and that they were able to make money easily, fast. And this product is very easy to share because
Και
it
όταν
helps.
μπήκα στο YouTube και είδα το βίντεο από τον Μιχαήλ, την παρουσίαση από το πλάνο αμοιβών, έτριβα τα μάτια μου γιατί δεν πίστευα αυτό που έβλεπα.
And when he went on the YouTube and saw your marketing plan and how the company pays and the payout, he couldn't believe and he was rubbing his eyes. He couldn't believe that was true.
Λέω αυτό που ζω είναι όνειρο.
He says,
Δεν
what I'm
γίνεται να
living right
υπάρχει
now is a
εταιρεία.
dream. I'm sorry.
Δεν γίνεται να υπάρχει μια εταιρεία που να έχει τόσο τέλεια προϊόντα, καινοτόμα προϊόντα, αλλά να έχει και τόσο τέλειο σύστημα αμοιβών.
He thought it was I thought it was a dream. I couldn't believe that the company has such amazing products and also pays so good.
Και λέω, δεν γίνεται, νομίζω ότι δεν γίνεται να μην κάνουμε συνεργασία με αυτή την εταιρεία, είναι μονόδρομος.
And I said, there is no way that I'm not going to be a part of this company because this is a one-way road.
Και όταν αρχίσαμε να γνωρίζουμε όλους εσάς, τους ανθρώπους της Numi, εσένα Ειρήνη, τον Μιχαήλ, τον Κίρτ και όλους τους υπόλοιπους, τον Στίβεν και όλους τους υπόλοιπους, πραγματικά μείναμε εντυπωσιασμένοι.
And when I started meeting everybody in the company, you, Irene, Michael, the owners of the company, and everybody else, I was very, impressed with everything, everybody.
Και είμαστε εδώ, δηλώνουμε παρόν, να συνταξιδέψουμε όλοι μαζί και να επεκτείνουμε το όραμα του Στίβεν, να κάνουμε μια πάρα πολύ μεγάλη εταιρεία που θα βοηθήσει πολλούς ανθρώπους να αλλάξουν τη ζωή τους.
we are here with the same goal and present to help Steve's dream become a reality and help spread NUMMI everywhere.
Beautiful, beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing. I just want to reiterate for everyone listening that the reason we brought both of these beautiful men online is because they have a servant heart and they have already translated all the tools that you're going to use, not just for their team, for all teams, and they didn't ask for 1 cent. They've just put that hard work in. So the 100-30-10 philosophy, the NUMMI 1-2-3, everything's been translated, ready to go to help everyone. So again, thank you, George. Thank you, Andreas. And thank you, Irene, for birthing Greece NUMMI. All righty. So how cool was that? So, and by the way, welcome to my world. Every time we're online these days, every day of the week, 1 minute I'm listening to Indonesian being translated, next minute it's Greek, next minute it's Spanish, next minute there's languages all over the world. So it's pretty exciting. I think maybe the internet dropped at one point. I think that's what happened when a few people were typing in the chat, hopefully. But beautiful people, beautiful people. So what did we get out of that interview, right? Number one, become a servant leader. Stop chasing the money and just help everyone in your team, right? And when you do that, the business will grow. I remember Steve Scott saying to me years ago, he said, stop chasing the money, right? Once you stop chasing the money, it doesn't elude you. If you chase the money, it eludes you. If you're all about money, people don't join people like that or stay with people like that when the focus is just money, right? Number one. Number two, what do we learn about this? Well, this is a blue event. Remember the traffic light system. Blue is safe, any team, company run, right? So the Facebook groups, company run Facebook groups. If someone is in other Facebook groups and you keep recommending them and they leave the company, you might lose your people. So remember, blue events, yellow, red events, right? And so protect your people. That's what we learn out about that. So finally, just going back through what Sergio said at the start, just a couple of reminders. Tuesday next week, October the 1st, 7 a.m. Indonesian time, which is 10 a.m. for me here in Australia. There will be an event, and that will be run by Aaron Rennett and Sergio for a blue event for all of Indonesia, no matter which teams you're involved with, right? Number two, Greece tools will be turned on in your app on October the 1st, which is 5-6 days from now, and you'll be able to send out tools in Greece as well. You might not know this, but just so you know, when Jonathan recorded tools for Indonesia for us in the app, when these guys recorded, they're told they're blue tools, so they can't mention a team name. They can't promote anything that was unique to a unique team. That's the sort of thing servant leaders do, just so we're clear, right? And then finally, I just want to clarify something. When Sergio said that we have now got both products registered in Philippines, you're probably going, weren't they registered ages ago? Yes, they were. Let me give you a big insight. Pull the veil back. We were registered, and we were registered in an alliance with another company locally. Turns out that relationship fell apart through some things that shouldn't have been done at one end. That's all I'll say. And let's just say it was more damaging to the business than it was productive in the Philippines. So we backed out of that. And for a short period of time, you wouldn't have been aware, we weren't registered, which was pretty dangerous. But we've now got both products fully registered under the company's entity, and the people who were involved before doing a bit of damage are gone. Yay. So Philippines is ready to fly, and we have both products fully registered by the FDA. If you see anything online that says otherwise, trust me, it was the people from that other company trying to throw us under the bus. We're all good. We're fully registered, and Philippines is going to go from strength to strength to strength. So it's exciting for anyone who's involved in that market as well. So again, thank you today for Sergio. Thank you for Andreas, George, and thank you for the beautiful Irene, who has birthed Greece. And I'm sure, and by the way, we did say we're gonna go to Greece once there's, you know, diamonds and crowns popping out of all over the place there, and we're going to stand Irene on the same wall as that model was with a big blue thing, and we're going to replicate the photograph because that was what we manifested from day one. So thank you also to Irene, because if it wasn't for you, we wouldn't have birthed Greece altogether. So good morning. Oh, and thank you, Phoebe, for helping me with today's MC and managing the door. So again, be a servant leader, guys. It's attractive. Everyone wants to be one. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. All the best.